Put your red shirt on and a brown coat too. Everybody's joining the crew. We got just one ring that we rule them all. Hope fruit remember your towel. Get your ulu feathers and your needler guns. A sonic screwdriver or a sword plus one. Use Valerian steel if it will get you to come. To the big tank. To the big tank. The Rocky Mountain Big Tank.
Hi, I'm Guy,
Hi, I'm Troy.
Hi, I'm Alex.
and this is Geek Tank.
Your corned beef and cabbage sized podcast.
Boo.
Boo. All right.
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like corned beef.
Oh, okay. Reubens are good.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm partial. I mean, I don't know if I don't know.
More for y'all. It's cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm not very picky about what I put in my mouth.
Hot.
Hey, Bob. Hey, Brent. I'm not sure what that number means. Okay.
It's-
Uh-oh.
he's sending codes.
No. Now we're all
Yeah.
going to get sick.
Speaking about putting stuff in my mouth.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I've got stuff I can put in my mouth. I've got some oatmeal raisin cookies.
And suddenly this became the eating show.
Mm-hmm.
I already ate my food.
Eat Tank.
It's Eat Tank. And this is Eat Tank.
We did have the whole MRE episode once with Chelsea, where we tried MREs blindfolded.
Yeah, I like that one. That was funny. That was a good episode. That was a long time ago.
Back when we had Chelsea.
Back when we had Chelsea.
Uh,
I mean, I think technically we still do have Chelsea. She's just
well, yeah, she didn't vanish. She's just not part of the show regularly.
yeah.
Man, yeah. Before we started, we're like, what are we going to talk about? We don't know.
So
Geeky things I've been up
Okay.
to. Let's see. I'm still doing. I got some more magic tokens, so I've been organizing those. And
And you found out they're double sided.
yeah, many of them are double-sided, which I think is annoying. Well, no, which I find annoying. But it's okay. I
think
just figured
it's-
out which ones have. I can,
And
shore
I-
up the holes and.
guess the only thing I can think of is that that must have happened after you started to kind of stand down from it, because I could have sworn they've been doing that for ever, and of course they probably haven't. Obviously they haven't, otherwise you would have known.
Well, I think most double-sided tokens are actually in commander precons.
I think you're right.
So I went to the store and they had like 200 random tokens for $10, and I'm like, sure. And yeah, I've just been going through organizing them and such. So I did that, and I'm looking at thinking about changing my ninja deck a little bit, reconfiguring it to into more just ninja shenanigans than anything else. And but also I've also been thinking about dismantling my Borg deck, because because here's one thing I do whenever as Guy and Troy can attest to, like usually when we play a commander game or even like even like regular Magic, regular, I usually say, what are you guys playing? Da, 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 da. Okay. And when it comes to the 60 card decks, I do have like a wide breadth of power level.
Right.
I'll be like, okay, I'm going to choose this one. This one seems to be about right for this game, But the commander decks, all my decks are in the new reckoning, probably all about 3.5, 3 to 3.5, as opposed to a 4. And I always like, hey, which commander do you guys want to play against? And like nobody really picks my Borg deck, because I make theme decks. And so my Borg deck is, the Borg, like from Star Trek. Resistance is futile. You will be assimilated. Your genetic and technological uniqueness will be added to the collective, which really means I'm going to be like, as for the commander, and there's more stuff in the deck, but as for the commander's all about, I take your stuff, which I can understand how that's kind of feels bad. I spent all this mana to get this stuff out. It's mine now. Well, I spent a lot of mana to take it, so
We're even.
obviously it's on you for not protecting it.
Right.
And so I was thinking like maybe I should take it apart because it doesn't get a lot of play. But I don't know. I'm definitely not going to reconfigure. I'm reconfiguring ninjas right now. I'm going to finish that project before I decide whether I'm going to take apart my Borg deck. But it's an interesting thing. That's like this word has an ugly connotation in most gaming spaces, but most casuals don't like it when you take their stuff. Most casuals don't like it when you blow up their land and Magic and stuff.
Counterspell them.
I'm a casual.
I'm not saying that all casuals hate it or anything, but like most casuals they kind of don't like those patterns of play. And I was thinking another commander deck I was thinking of making up was going to be it wasn't going to be a mill out strategy. It was going to be a let's mill things, and if things are in the graveyard and there's also because I'll dig in other people's libraries and you can take stuff and then cast them as a way to scale. Like this deck is here, but it will if your deck is super powerful, it will try to take those powerful things and use them against you. And if your deck isn't super powerful, then I'm taking this weaker stuff from you and using it against you. And so far, we can have a scaling game. But I was thinking of calling it the Trash Panda. But in many ways, it's kind of the same thing. I'm taking your stuff. So I'm not sure. Philosophical questions.
Yeah. So, answer your question that came up. Double-sided token cards in Magic the Gathering first appeared as a special Friday Night Magic card during the Innistrad block April 2012 with a full moon design. First appearance was an initial double-sided token card released as FM Night cards during that block with a full moon design on one side and a token on the other. Mm-hmm. Then some pre-release packs started doing it. Magic League prizes started doing double-sided tokens. But most common, as you have said, are in the pre-cons, is where you find the double-sided tokens.
And I do think that there's definitely a good design space for double-sided tokens. It annoys me when I'm like, okay, well, this token is an elephant on one side and like a treasure on another. It's sort of like, okay, now I have to decide if I want to have elephant or treasure because I double sleeve my cards. And so I actually have clear sleeves for double-sided tokens that I want to use that way. Or I do have tokens from other sources like Tolarian Community College, that YouTuber, Covert Go Blue. And so to flex a little bit, I'm like, it's a clear one. So you can see like the cool back and everything. It says Tolarian Community College on it. But the ones that I really like that I'm like, oh, this is actually a really cool design space. There's like a dragon egg token. And the dragon egg says when the dragon, it's a 0/2 defender. When it dies, make a 1/1 dragon, flying dragon creature token with 1 red, gives it +1/+0, fire breathing effect. And so that token, I have a few of those, and it is the dragon egg on one side, and on the other side, it's the dragon. I'm like, that makes perfect fucking sense.
Yeah,
right.
So I like those. What is like nothing like it's an artifact construct on one side and a fairy rogue on the other. I'm like, what?
Yeah, well, I think that a lot of them are because I noticed that the Thopters are opposite mirrors, which makes sense as well. Usually, if you have a Thopter deck, you tend to have mirrors in them as well. So you're choosing one or the other.
So could you make a cat deck and a mirror deck and have a meerkat deck?
Then it'd be a meerkat. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Magic.
Mm-hmm. And then, let me see. I've been watching that show Happy on Troy's recommendation. It leaves Netflix in 9 days. So I'm making sure I watch an episode every day or two. I started season 2.
I was going to say, you're probably through season 1 then.
Mm-hmm. So some of the stuff that's happening in season 2, like in the recap, I'm like, I do not remember that from season 1. Obviously, I was distracted doing other things, but no big deal. It's not exactly a complicated story.
No.
No, but it's enjoyable. I was thinking of, I texted Troy about it. I'm like, this is kind of like Scott Pilgrim meets Sin City, but with a splash of Twin Peaks. Like the one of the main antagonists in the first season definitely has a Killer Bob vibe.
Oh yeah.
And then there was something else I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool. No, I was enjoying it. Like I said, and it is not for kids.
Not for kids.
And so, but no, it's enjoyable and such. Anything. What else we've been doing? Geek related. I've been playing Unicorn Overlord. I'm in probably the last. I'm not quite to the final acts of the game, but I'm getting there. And it's a tactical game, and it's very rare that I get into these. But I'm enjoying it quite a bit. But I'm like, I need to reconfigure my units. Each you have, instead of individual characters going around on the board, like say a Persona 5 Tactica or a Fire Emblem. It's you have a many characters with different abilities, and you make squads out with these characters. And so you have a squad that's really good at fighting mages, or a squad that's really good at fighting armored opponents. And I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I kind of just slap these together. I really need to like put some more thought into these squads I have, because as it is, I mean, I'm still making headway, which is good, but it's starting to become more challenging. And I'm thinking it's like, oh, that character would work really well with that character's abilities, type of thing. And
catching up on Invincible, the animated superhero show on Amazon. I've only got a few episodes left. It's fun. It's interesting. I haven't read the comic, so I don't know how close it's sticking to the comic. But the advantage there is I'm not comparing it to the comic, so I'm not upset with anything. I did like how they kind of broke the fourth wall at one point, where the character's talking to someone who does comics, that draws comics, or no, it was animation, that does animation. And they're like, yeah, they in later seasons of animation shows, they cut corners to save money. What are you talking about? Well, sometimes they throw them to the other side so you don't see their mouths moving when they talk, and do that kind of stuff. And so they do all the stuff they're talking about in the show as they're describing it to save money for animation and that.
That's funny.
So that was a really
meta.
clever, yeah, very meta. Let's see. Probably my biggest addiction is Taskmaster, which I watch entirely on YouTube because it's free to watch there. Finished all of the original British episodes of the show, and caught up with all of the New Zealand episodes of the show, and now I'm watching all of the Australian versions of the show.
Wow.
All right.
And I'm like,
there's a lot of that show, a lot more than I thought there was.
Yeah. The UK was the first, and I guess it did so well that it's spread everywhere. And I'm a little surprised it hasn't hit here in the States yet. And so it's where they
sometimes
get
I think that this is one of those things I was thinking about the other day about, and I don't remember exactly what I was thinking, what show specifically, but we have a very unique thing about in our culture, this whole the American people won't accept X, Y, or Z. We have a very interesting culture about, and like generally speaking, whenever you hear somebody say that, they're wrong. You know what I mean? Like, turns out the show was very popular or whatever, and it's like interesting that is this weird like productivity culture, which I don't know. I was thinking about that. Oh, it was regarding anime.
Oh,
because that was a big misstep that they made, was when Sailor Moon came out. They were like, the American people won't accept the characters the way they were, and there was massive backlash and stuff. So that was
just
what
to show you, suits don't know shit,
right? They are not cousins. Just saying.
It's like whenever they're like, It's like I'm CEO. I work so hard. I'm on like the board of like a dozen companies. Well, obviously it's not that hard a job. Fuck off.
Right.
Shut the
Clearly,
fuck up.
this isn't that difficult. So,
Japanese animation. What?
nobody's going to like that.
Cartoons are for kids. We have enough cartoons here in America.
You mean like Speed Racer?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm actually rewatching the Ranma remake season 2.
How is
English.
How is it on the rewatch?
Oh, I love it. It's really good.
You say Ranma season 2?
No, the Ranma redo.
Redo.
I'm rewatching it. The Ranma remake. I'm rewatching season 1. Season 2 comes out in like July.
Season 2 comes out in July. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. But no, I'm really enjoying that. I like the changes that they've made for the most part. Some of the scenes were funnier in the original, but it's just it's still good stuff. I'm hoping that sometime somewhere down the road somebody takes the remade version and puts in the original music. That'd be great.
Okay.
But
that should be doable.
Yeah, I'm sure someone can do it. That's way above my skill level. So
you'd have to strip out the audio. It'd be difficult. Not impossible. Just difficult.
Right.
Were you talking about just for the theme or for the whole show?
For the whole show.
Yeah, that it'd be much more complicated for the whole show, but that's not saying we couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
What other geek stuff is there? No, we had our D&D session after weeks of not D&D.
Oh my god, so many weeks.
And I definitely felt the rust having to shake that off.
Yeah.
What am I doing again?
Damn it! Why are the players not doing stuff?
It was pretty funny. Let's keep on talking. We have you surrounded. Come out with your hands up. What should we do? And I'm like, I'm going to not leave through the front door. And I'm just going to go. See you at the rendezvous point or not.
Yep. They only had one character that could see invisible, and they were stationed at the front door.
Yeah.
So I figured all of you were going to get away because it sounded like nobody was going out the front door. Then next thing I know, I'm going out the front door. Like, all right.
Yeah, I wound up playing a character. These were side characters at the beginning, and I was playing a character that was played by another player who wasn't there. I didn't make it to the previous sessions due to scheduling conflicts. So, but it was still pretty funny.
And this was really just a side story, kind of invented out of the necessity that one of the characters out of the party didn't die. How rude of them! Had they died, this wouldn't have even had to happen.
Sure.
But yeah, and I know June doesn't watch the show, so I'm not spoiling anything for her. But I think that they clearly laid out the consequences of not doing what they asked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but were we going to accede to that? I mean, would anybody accede to that? Let's be realistic.
If you were wanted and somebody said, "We have your kid," they can either stand trial for you or you can surrender. Would you take the chance that they're bluffing?
Oh, no. I'm not talking about real life. I'm talking about in the game. Were you going to even think that any of the players are going to accede to that? First of all, these were alts. They weren't actually
Kit 3.
I know, but I'm just saying all the rest of us, we were all alts.
Oh, yeah. Well,
and we didn't know Kit 3 from Adam. So we're like, good luck with that brother thing.
They gave all of you an out.
Yeah, they totally said, we only care about the halfling.
Yes.
Yeah.
I figure they'll find me somewhere else and they will only care about the halfling.
But it was pretty entertaining. It's like, who wants to go this way? Raise your hand. Like, we're all invisible.
Yeah.
It
was.
I can't see you.
Maybe we should have figured this out before we all turned invisible. Okay,
we're
everyone.
gonna go to the Imperial Dragon Cafe. Sounds great.
Yes.
See you there.
If you're going out this window, push a chair. Which window? When you say this window, I can't see where you're pointing.
Right.
It's absolutely a scene that needs to be in an animated, recreated
Right.
version of the show.
God damn it.
And back
Comedy.
to bring this back around to what you were saying before, easy to animate too. Empty room,
Empty
and just a
room.
whole bunch of voices going, okay, raise your hand if you're doing this. It actually would be hysterical too, because you'd go for this long amount of time and nobody have to animate anything.
But yeah, and without saying anything, I know that you're 100% correct about what's going on, Alex.
What?
Yep. So, well, I thought it would be obvious enough that other people besides you, especially the main player, would get that, but
Right.
we'll see how it goes when that happens.
Right.
Yes, sound off if
Oh,
you're
I'm
dead.
pretty sure I'm on board with what's happening too.
I'm dead too.
Sound off if you're dead.
Yep.
Everybody, sound off if you're not here.
Yeah.
If you've already left, tell us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's funny. Entertained. So we did, speaking of invisible and ghosts, hey, look at that. Firefly's blue ghost actually managed to take a picture of the first Terran eclipse, which was pretty cool. That was neat. So Blue Ghost is a lander that had landed on the moon, and we had a lunar eclipse, which happened the other night. And when it did, they took the Blue Ghost's cameras and aimed them straight up and managed to catch the very first ever Terran eclipse.
Cool.
From the moon, which was pretty awesome. And it looks like a wild version of a solar eclipse from our point of view. So I guess really it was technically a solar eclipse, but still it was neat.
Very cool.
It was just a lunar solar
did it
eclipse.
Just take stills or did it take video?
It just took a still. I don't know if it took a video. It may have taken a video.
Missed opportunity if it didn't.
Yeah, I would assume they did something. However, to that end, that very lander sadly passed into the next life about 12 hours ago. Because the sun set on the area that it was in, and it ran for another 5 hours after sunset, and then that was it for its batteries, and then it
froze to death.
Yep, it froze to death on the surface.
So they had to give up the ghost.
They gave up the ghost. It gave up the ghost.
I am disappointed they didn't call it Space Ghost.
I know. Speaking of, I heard that the voice actor of Space Ghost passed away yesterday.
What? Like the real Space Ghost or Space Ghost Coast to Coast Space Ghost?
Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Okay.
Brent saying in 14 days we'll see whether it comes back online. I don't mean to be
so cold.
Yeah.
So cold.
But
so cold.
It is. I mean, Alsep still replies from the moon, but it's hardier hardware. So
cold.
That's the other thing. We talk about moon hoaxers. You literally can hit one of the Apollo instrument sets and have it send signals back. It's still sitting up there on the moon. I know. Like people have been doing that for years now. I remember
those people.
I mean, as a teenager, we were hitting bouncers and repeaters off of that thing, the Alsep, when we were in high school. I feel like such a Trekkie whenever I say stuff like I was bouncing stuff off the instruments on the moon when I was in high school. Because it was one of those things. I used to work for the planetarium.
And the jocks are bouncing you off of lockers.
Prince like nerd.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
I'm proud of
Nerd.
it though. I mean, let's be
So,
realistic.
Yeah, the voice actor's name was George Edward Lowe.
That's
died March 2nd.
March 2nd. It takes a long time when you're not that popular for the news to trickle down, apparently.
Yep. The new Joe Abercrombie book is due out in, I think, May. Looking forward to that.
Fair.
He writes really good, grim, dark fantasy. Definitely earn your happy ending territory. Big fan.
I could tell by the cover with all the smeared writing. It looks like that. Assuming that's probably like not the original version.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at any of the covers. I just know it's coming out.
Yeah.
And my
Couple of them have
have
pictures of swords.
Yeah, like the British ones are very maps and swords, and the American ones generally have like sometimes a sword and such, but also like the what's it called? Like it's like splashes of paint and ink and stuff. It's cool stuff. Trench Crusade for grimdark miniature wargaming. Huh, maybe. I don't know. How expensive is it? Like I said, like I don't normally get into the tactical games and doing this video game right now, which has kind of grabbed my attention. It's by the same people who made Odin Sphere, which is a game that I deeply love. Odin Sphere being a retelling of Ragnarok.
Well, it looks like the rules for the game are free.
Cool.
So that's...
And then minis, you have to paint them because I'm terrible at that. Like, just awful.
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah.
I'm particularly fond of painting minis. Oh, you can use any type of mini. That's kind of cool.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, so you just get the pre-painted ones.
Yeah. Right on.
So since it's been brought up, the little tagline, Trench Crusade is a skirmish scale tabletop miniatures game that will plunge players deep into a horrifying alternate timeline. During the Crusades, a heretical band of Templars dared defy the Almighty and, casting aside their sacred vows, unleashed the forces of hell upon the earth.
Now, who was that? Which was that? That king who went on crusade even though he was excommunicated? That guy was a trip. Let me see if I can find him.
Bob's saying he printed what he considers to be the best minis ever printed today.
Frederick II. That's the guy.
Oh.
That's the mini that Bob painted.
No, that's the guy.
You know who else has minis?
Your mom.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry.
That was good. That was actually good. Alex is starting to come to the dark side. Because once Troy gets around to it.
Elbow.
They don't paint minis, though. They sell them, but they don't paint them.
Well, they do. And those they that we're talking about is our sponsors, Kieran Games, Geekway Homes, The Massage Wizard, and your
mom. Painting all the miniatures. So Bob said he printed, not painted.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you said painted.
Did I say painted? I meant printed. In my head, I said printed.
So, but then the question becomes, what was the miniature that was printed?
Yeah. Bob,
yeah.
what mini did you print? Now I want to know. Inquiring geeks want to know.
So while he's doing that, I showed one of the twins, William Shakespeare's Romeo plus Juliet. And it's been a while since I'd seen it, like years. I remembered liking it, but I hadn't gone back to it for a long time. They're studying Romeo and Juliet in English class, And I remember them sending home a permission slip for parents who didn't want kids to watch it,
With
because there's
Leo.
violence and stuff. Yeah, with Leo.
DiCaprio.
And I
Claire
remember,
Danes.
signing, sure, he can see this, but they never got around to watching it. So we happened to be hanging out on one of those rare moments where he's not in his room on the computer. I'm like, hey, you want to watch something? He's like, yeah, but I don't know what. Well, we never got around to watching Romeo plus Juliet. Can we watch that? I'm like, hell yeah. So fired up. I forgot how much it has the flavor of Starship Troopers and how it's doing the newscast as the narrator and stuff. And then
Right, your framing device.
and of course, John Leguizamo is just amazing in that film.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the costume I wanted to do, and I guess I could still do it, especially if I start doing circuit training all the time, is Abra. And Abra is the guy in the he is in that same gas station scene at the Capulet with the thing that says sin in his teeth.
Okay, so he's the first. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Be the law on my side if I say I, nay. Then I do by my thumb, sir, but I don't know about my thumb at you, sir. And he's the guy who goes, you lie! Yeah.
Yep.
I should totally dress up like that guy and like go to Mile High Con or something.
Yeah, it's interesting you'd say
Who's
that
that guy?
because
He's
my
head of
kiddo was
security. Don't fuck
also
with him.
going through Romeo and Juliet, so I guess it's curriculum wide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that one. I mean, I remember studying Romeo and Juliet when I was, like either 8th or 9th grade.
Yeah, 1996.
And this was over in I was in South Carolina.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I guess that's just when because Romeo and Juliet are 14.
Here's a play about stupid teenagers, you stupid teenagers.
Yeah, and they're all 14, just like you guys all are.
Killing each other. Banging.
Yeah. So everybody has sex and start killing each other. Or something.
Preferably that order.
The other order makes it more complicated.
Yeah, that actor's name is Vincent Lariska.
Okay.
Lariska. So yeah. That was a fun scene.
Love that guy. I love that scene. That movie's just top shelf.
It is a good movie. And actually, now that you mentioned that, I'm thinking since my kid just went through this phase as well, maybe we should watch it as well because that'd be kind of fun.
I think I'm not sure.
It's a good variant of it. I like that variant.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I even have it on disc, and if I don't, I should totally get it on disc. So good.
Where did you watch it, Troy?
What was that? Hulu, but through Disney. So
I got that.
I got that.
Yeah.
Still, I'd rather watch it on disc. The sound will be better.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that sort of geeky thing.
Mm-hmm. No, that's really good.
That was definitely geeky.
Cool flick. And the cat spurred boots that Tybalt wears. Hot. Want those boots so fucking bad. But and it was wild to see the guy who played Mercutio then was one of the leads in Oz.
I haven't. Which Oz movie?
Oz, the HBO.
Oh, Oz.
Movie. Oz.
I have not seen that.
Wow.
Yeah. I'd probably dig it.
You'd probably dig it. I mean, be aware it was made in 99.
Sure.
But it's
that's a long time ago.
It is a long time because we fucking old. But yeah.
I have
Oz is a cool show.
Photographic proof that the three of us were together hanging out in 99.
Deep fake.
Yep. AI bullshit.
Deep fake. Deep fakery.
For those of you who are wondering,
post it, guy. You know you want to.
I actually did find a picture of the three of us. Let's see if I can find it, and I'll post it because it's funny.
Yeah. And I've been showing the kiddo Futurama. Been enjoying it. Don't know if I mentioned that last week, but
I don't think so. There's a lot of those. Yeah,
we're like in season 2 right now. I know we watch like an episode every day or two, and maybe sometimes a couple episodes. And it was pretty funny. She was like, "Oh, I wonder if they'll do a Christmas episode right as we're starting up the Xmas episode." Like, I think we got you covered, kiddo. But yeah, Morbo. Like, I have to say, like, when I went to go see Red Hulk, Captain America, the friend I was going to see it with, it was for his birthday, and afterward, we were doing a little debrief, and he's like, "Man, I wish that Leader's head was bigger." I'm like, "I know, it was all right," but now I'm like reminded of Morbo. Like, no, Leader's head should have been bigger. Should have been bigger. That guy's hilarious. How's the family?
Troy has to actually put it up there.
Belligerent.
I'm not allowed to.
You're not allowed to.
So young.
That's that sword cane that got stolen out of the storage unit that I had.
Oh.
I don't know why I had it there, but there it is. And right behind Alex, Ranma.
Yes. And golly. Those scrolls, which all of them disappeared and nobody knows where they went.
Oh wow.
Yeah, all the scrolls disappeared and all of the cells that were George's. It's actually kind of sad.
Like what, you all woke up one morning and they were all gone?
Well, I moved out and James doesn't remember what happened. So I don't know. This happened after I moved out.
Yeah. And I moved out and I moved out before you did.
Yep. But it's interesting because behind all three of us, behind you, Troy, is that picture of Sailor Moon that was really pretty that James had framed.
Yeah.
And behind me it's actually a Urusei Yatsura scroll. Can't see it, but it is. So, and I remember back in the day when I had those clip-on watches, those were really I thought those were cool. I think I was the only one, but I thought they were cool. I think Xanderman, don't you still have that jacket?
Oh no.
Oh no. Vanished a long
I
time.
actually don't have any biker leather jackets at all right now. I've had a couple in my life, but yeah, the closest thing I have now is I have a biker leather, that style vest. It was a jacket that I picked up from a thrift store where it was the arms were too short. So I cut off the arms and actually connected them with chainmail, which was a really cool look. But golly, it gets heavy.
Yeah.
And so I just wear it as a vest now, and I painted "Lust for Life" in silver and blue on the back.
I remember that. I remember you doing that during the game.
Yeah, I was like,
it looks lovely.
It's very cool, very cool.
Yeah. So there we are, guys. Yeah. This is us in the 90s.
Yeah, I've got my brother's leather jacket that I not really my style, but I've used it for when I did Negan as a costume a couple of times. So
totally.
Where is there's the button.
Thank you. I will stop sharing.
Sharing's caring.
That is plausible.
I suppose. Supposedly those bears were onto something. That doesn't help at all.
Anyway.
Okay. So that was fun. But yeah, the 90s.
The dream of the 90s is alive in Portland. I really like that show. I actually haven't watched the last season or two of it. I should get it. And then
so did you end up watching it because why is the name running away from me? Del Cooper.
Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah. Did you originally start?
No, I wound up watching it just because like we heard somewhere that it was fun, or maybe this is back in the days of like video stores. I'm pretty sure when we first started watching it. So I think we might have first gotten it. Let me look at when it came out because let's see, Portlandia season 1 came out in 2011. Okay, so we were living in. I think we were either like we were either still living on Cap Hill, or we were just moving into this house, and maybe in Cap Hill, like the video store guys, you should watch this because video store guy. Video store. And then we wound up getting it through Netflix because back then Netflix had disc service, And no, I loved it. And I distinctly remember like we watched a whole bunch of it when my wife was pregnant with our kid, and even and shortly thereafter too, we were still watching it. And it is actually one of my ringtones. Is that theme song? Feel It All Around. And I when the kiddo was a wee babby, we'd be watching it like the themes, we'd always watch the theme and everything. So it was really short. And I just pick her up and dance her around.
Nice.
So yeah.
And that's one of those discussions that we oft have, which is the skip or not skip an opening theme.
Depends on the show.
I will agree. In this household, it is verboten to skip Star Trek opening themes, as one might imagine.
That tracks.
Yeah, absolutely.
For me, it depends on, are you binging? Because the
Even if
first
you're
episode's
binging.
fine. No, see, I don't need to hear it every episode.
Nope. It's like the national anthem.
Uh-huh.
I don't tend to binge shows anymore. Like I might watch like 2 in a row. But like even when the kid and I were watching Futurama, we're hanging out on the weekend, and it's like we watched 2 episodes of Futurama. I'm like, time to switch. No. I'm like, time to switch. Maybe we'll watch X-Files. Maybe we'll watch Ranma. I don't care. But no, we're switching off of Futurama. And because this kind of dovetails into something else, is that the last show that I remember binging, I mean, I'll binge shows that I've already seen. Like if I'm going to sit around and be like, oh, I'm going to have this on in the background while I'm doing some work and like catching my favorite scenes. Yeah, I mean, just throw it in, roam, play all, whatever. But like with new shows, the last show that I remember binging was like Daredevil season 2 or 3, and we like my spouse and I, we watched it. I want to say we watched and it was like a real season, like real old television season, like 20 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we watched all the episodes in like 2.5 days. And after that, we couldn't like kind of recall some of the stuff that happened. And it was like and it was also like we didn't enjoy it as much.
Right.
And it's like, I think it would have been better if we just sort of like watched a couple episodes and let it, watch the next couple of the next day. It's not like there's not a ton of things on Netflix to watch because it was on Netflix then. I have not watched the new Daredevil yet. As I was going to say, it's like, hey, there's a new Daredevil out. I've heard good things. I know it's got most of the original cast. Daredevil, Kingpin, Punisher, all of them. So looking forward to it. I never actually watched Punisher season 2. I thought Punisher season 1 was, except for kind of a shaky start, I thought it was great. I loved how season 1 ended. I never want to watch any other Punisher, but I guess I'm going to have to with Daredevil because I was really when they left the castle.
Are they going to be using the same Kingpin that they used in Echo?
It's the same Kingpin as was used in Daredevil. So
which is the same one.
Okay.
It's the same actor.
Then that makes me wonder if they're going to bring Echo in. I liked Echo. Echo was cool.
Cool.
And Echo and Daredevil canonically have a relationship. So
who hasn't Daredevil gotten with? He a hoe.
I mean, we're just saying.
He a hoe. He's like, the chicks dig that tortured Catholic shit.
He smashed She-Hulk.
Catholics. Wait, what?
I said he smashed She-Hulk. Hulk smash.
Vince D'Onofrio. Thank you. Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, he was in one of the was it not CSI? Damn it. He's in one of those crime dramas, and I remember really
wasn't
liking
he in
it.
True Blood season 2 or something?
Never saw True Blood.
Oh, True Blood season 1 is top fucking shelf, man.
Oh,
like it is super good. I could have swore you've seen it. I could have swore we talked about it.
Not True Blood. Oh, wait.
Not True Blood. I'm thinking True Detective. True Detective season 2.
I saw the True Detective, the first one, because you on your recommendation.
Yeah, and we have talked about that. Yeah, so I think Vincent D'Onofrio was like, or maybe I'm thinking about Vince Vaughn in like season 2 of True Detective. Now, True Blood was all right. We enjoyed the first season and like maybe even the second season. After that, just like it turned into it started off like here's this little town and here's all these people in this little town and the main character is special for some reason, but we don't know why. And then it's like, oh, there's vampires and werewolves, and then like the more seasons went on, it seemed that everybody was something special.
Then you're not special.
Which I mean, it was they're all different special things, but it would have made more sense if they had been all like, this is our little town, and this is where we all like hang out because the rest of the world's bullshit.
Because it's on the Hellmouth,
right? Or whatever, you know.
That never happens.
2005, Law and Order: Criminal Intent. He was one of the main detectives. And his detective, although they never said it because back then it was only called Asperger's, there wasn't a spectrum. He clearly had elements of being on the spectrum and OCD that he like really subtly worked in with his character.
Oh, cool.
And I remember just really digging his character in that and him as an actor. And when I saw he was playing Kingpin, I'm like, what the hell did they do? Put him on steroids or something? Because he's like average size for Law and Order.
Right.
But yeah, he's really good at what he does. Full Metal Jacket.
Metal Jacket.
Yeah, definitely.
Choke yourself. Not with your hand, none less with mine.
That was a thing.
Okay.
Pile.
See.
That whole scene traumatized me for years.
Yeah.
That was one of those I didn't know how they did the scene things. So there was, because like Troy has talked about this a number of times. Growing up with
Todd
Todd was like growing up with my mom.
Your mom.
And so she knew how a lot of the specials were done and knew how the special effects were done and things like that. But she didn't want to watch Full Metal Jacket. It's on my own. So I had to figure out like how that scene happened. And I was still like, oh God, don't know how this works. But now I'm traumatized for life. It's pretty funny.
I'm scanning the credits of the new one, and I'm not seeing the actress that plays Echo in it.
Yeah, I figure if it's successful, they'll bring her back at some point.
Yeah, I wound up watching like all those Netflix Marvel shows. I watched all the Daredevil. I watched Iron Fist. That was pretty terrible.
Yep.
I mean, it could have stood to be like a third as long. I did watch. I really liked Luke Cage, except for like the fight with like I'm a dude in like powered armor now. I'm like, this is dumb. Everything else is good to great. What was the first one? It was January Jones, not January Jones. That's
Jessica
Jones. Yeah, January Jones is Don Draper's wife in Mad Men, another top shelf television show. But yeah, Jessica Jones, like I just kept on like I got to the point with her. I'm like, listen, just fucking kill this guy. You're the only person who can kill him, so fucking kill him and get some therapy. But kill him or crawl into a bottle. But kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him now. I do have to say though that that was like just fucking kill the guy already. There was a scene actually where they were like showing how bad the bad guy is. That was kind of like what, and it was like from his POV. Like you've heard all these things about him, and obviously it stuck with me. And he does the whammy on people. It's really nice, like New York apartment or whatever. He does the whammy on them, and then he's like, "Kids, go into the closet." And one of them's like, I gotta go pee. He's like, I say go in the closet. And the kid goes in there and he pees himself. They show like the puddle coming out from the closet. I'm like, you already had me at mind rape. He's a bad guy. He rapes people's minds, controls them. But this is just dumb because who wants to be in this really nice apartment and have like hungry, squirming, peeing, crapping kids in the closet right over there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really?
Yeah, but wasn't that also David Tennant?
I think so, yeah.
Are you saying he has a thing for kids that pee?
No,
Okay.
Yeah.
just
No.
adding to it because I remember watching that and going,
Mhm.
wow.
Uh-oh.
Not his best
Yeah.
role.
My computer might be shutting down. I don't know what's
Oh,
happening.
he's freezing up.
Oh no, I'm gonna go away.
Oh no!
Will it come back? What's happened? Oh, it's back. Okay.
Are you? You're not moving yet,
Are you?
buddy.
Oh,
Are you
I don't
really?
know. But all the screens are back. But I still might go.
Who's got the button to turn this thing off? Because I can't hear
away, I
Troy
guess.
anymore.
Yes.
Eep,
Eep, up, orp, eep, up, orp, eep, up, orp, and that means I love you. No? No.
Yeah, and that's a Jetsons reference, isn't it?
Yes.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, we were talking today. I was talking with a bunch of my buddies, and they made a couple of random references to things, and then they were like, so does it bother you as Gen X when people of our generation start quoting things from you? I was like, didn't bother me until now. Now it's starting to bother me.
Now that you mentioned it. Jerk.
Now that you mention it,
Jerk.
I'm like, maybe.
So
I feel like that's an overheat problem on Troy's computer. You know,
beats me.
it seems
really-
like he
I really
goes
don't
for a certain
know.
amount of time and then it just
I
gives
don't
up.
think it's I can't imagine that running the podcast, just video and audio feed, and
That's
perhaps
true.
recording is more intensive than him playing, the video games he likes to play.
That's fair.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah, my PC's getting long in the tooth. I overbuilt it when I built it, and it's served me well, but it's time to overbuild a new computer.
Right? Time to overbuild something else.
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually what I've been thinking about as well. I mean, obviously, right now, upgrade's way out of the question, but
Yeah.
at some point here, a Gen Z translation of Brutus from Julius Caesar. That's awesome.
Cool.
That is cool.
I'm back.
And he's back.
Oh, don't threaten us.
I'm back just in time.
With a good time.
So I want to start with Futurama.
Brought to you by the makers of Futurama.
Yes, I always felt that series ended perfectly. I felt like it was the best ending of any series I'd ever seen, and then they brought it back. And so I'm happy they brought it back, but I'm also kind of like, the ending now isn't as awesome as it was.
I guess I'll have to see when the original what season the original ending was, so I can kind of like, because I know that there's other projects that Groening's been involved with, like Enchanted and Big Mouth, I think. So, but I guess maybe they felt they had some more stuff to say with Futurama, or maybe they just put a big dump truck of money on his lawn, and
I mean,
to quote Krusty the Clown, "I'm not made of stone."
I mean, I would, if somebody backed a dump truck full of money onto my lawn, I'd be like, well,
yeah,
here we go.
So season 7, final episode title was called Meanwhile.
Disenchanted.
Meanwhile.
Okay.
So, but I mean, it's not bad. It's one of those things of like, oh, I'm really glad they brought it back because I really like the writing, but I also felt I was content with how it ended. Whereas like stuff like with Firefly, it just sort of was gone. Yeah. They never really wrapped it up. But there's the argument that if they got 2 or 3 more seasons, would it have gotten bad?
That there is a lot of great discussion about that particular piece. As
I'm not a Joss Whedon fan, I'm glad that it ended while it was still good. Because I mean, and by that I mean like I know that he's a problematic figure with the stuff he did on set and such, and professionally. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, that's bad too. But when I say that, I mean I don't like his body of work. I've sampled much of his work and been like, meh, to. And Firefly, I'm actually like, wow, this is actually pretty good. It's kind of like the inverse of like David Lynch. I've seen most of David Lynch's television and film projects. There's only one that I'm kind of like, don't avoid at all costs. But everything else, I'm like, no, it's cool. To really good. The thing to avoid at all costs is Inland Empire. It is David Lynch at his most self-indulgent.
It's actually come up on the show before too.
Yes. That's all I'm going to say about it right now.
That's fine. That's fine.
But Disenchanted, yeah. But it's on my gigantic list of stuff to get to on Netflix. Right now I'm watching Happy. And
yes.
then, I was watching MST3K.
Yeah, if you're into really gory stuff, like if you really dig Deadpool, I think a lot of the humor is similar to Deadpool.
It's definitely cartoonish.
Yeah.
And it's over the top. Like I said, it's kind of like if you take Sin City, which is over the top in its stylized way and still has a dark humor to it, and then you add like Scott Pilgrim filming sensibilities, it gets you in the ballpark.
Yeah. There is a fight scene that's a few episodes away from where you are that I think you're going to really dig the stylized way they chose to do it.
Okay.
Because I've been rewatching it, and that's why I recommended it, because it's been a while. And when I got to that, I forgot that they did that. I'm like, man, I really like how they did this. It was very clever and different.
Right. I'm watching this and I'm enjoying it, and he definitely has like the hard-boiled detective superpower. Just can just get his ass kicked constantly.
Take everything.
But then like I'm watching it, like, of course, I sometimes I still think of like, what kind of character would this guy be in a game? And I'm like, well, if you're looking at GURPS, he definitely has Lucky,
right,
and he definitely has Jinxed,
and all the hard to kill levels possible.
and it's like some of the things he that happen around him, it's like that's because they just happen to walk into his Jinxed field.
Yeah, I last Halloween I was toying with the idea of doing that his clothing as a costume, because I've got the gloves. I just have to get the fancy scarf and the trench coat, and but what would really complete it is if I could find somebody that could make a stuffed Happy that I could have on my shoulder, and that
totally.
But yeah, voiced by Patton Oswalt.
Yes, Patton Oswalt is the titular character. Happy.
Yep. But yeah, so you got like 9 days to watch it if you want now.
Right. Seasons are relatively short.
Yeah. I think it's 8 episodes and 10 episodes, or 10 episodes and 8 episodes, something like that.
Yeah.
But,
so you can do it like just watch 2 a night, 2 a day. You're good.
Yep.
Doing your cool.
Not a show for my wife. She hates violence like that.
Right.
Alrighty, man. We are at 10 o'clock. Yep.
We're about at the end of our rope. I mean, time.
Yeah. And I totally missed mentioning that we got back to The Boys finally with you and Kevin.
Yeah, we did. Finally. Yeah. There's not that many blowing up people. Blowing up heads.
Is it even The Boys anymore?
Right. Oh, man. Good night, Bob.
Bye.
Good to see you. Good night, Brent. It was also good to have you here.
Yeah,
Thank
maybe
you
they're
for joining us.
They're just scaling down the blowing up for now, and they'll ramp it back up later.
Okay.
Right.
I don't know.
So
all right.
That's the thing.
So
all right, guys.
We'll let you
that's
know.
all the time we've got for today. We'll see you all next week. Until then, I've been Guy.
I've been Troy.
And I've been Alex.
And this is Geek Tank.
Not yet, it hasn't, because it just moved. There it is. Now it's been Geek Tank.